Hello class, my name is Anthony. My topic today is subliminal advertising. Subliminal advertising is everywhere. In fact, half of us don't even know it's there. And the other half that are aware, ignore it. It could be hidden in our favorite TV shows, movies, or songs. It affects our behavior and overall can compromise our way of life. Did you know subliminal advertising targets the emotions of its audience? And let's be honest, say that you're making a decision rationally, but in reality, emotions play a major part in most of our purchases. Perhaps some of you may have thought to yourself, would I look good in a brand new hat, or t-shirt, or necklace, or pair of shoes? I know I have done this when making purchases, because if we're not vibing, we're not buying. Or so I thought so. According to journalist Ashwa Pa, subliminal advertising sneaks its way subconsciously into the minds of people, urges its viewers to buy products without giving it much thought, swindling its way into our emotions, leaving a long-lasting impression about a specific product or service unknowingly. Subliminal advertising is to influence consumers without you being aware. How crazy is that? People are being deceived, brainwashed into making unnecessary purchases. An article by Lillian Chuang shows research of Society for Consumers in 2011. Professor Gerald Gorn and chair professor of marketing at the Facility of Business in Hong Kong shows research of subliminal advertising evidence indicating unconscious fictitious purchases for brand names that have been subliminally advertised to participants in their research, meaning they're more prone to purchase subliminal advertised products over non-subliminal advertised product. I know, tongue twister, right? Now that I have analyzed what subliminal advertising is, I will explain how it affects our behavior and overall can compromise our way of life. What is the cause and effects about subliminal advertising? Well, for starters, it has caused many people to go into debt. An expansion on this is that I personally can't afford to go into debt, but I'm not alone because many other college students can't afford it either. As it is, if we don't get a scholarship to continue our education, then we're stuck paying student loans. And on top of that, subconsciously under siege from subliminal advertising. It's being embedded into our mind to influence us towards unnecessary purchases we simply can't afford and don't need in that matter. The Federal Trade Commission released a report indicating that companies are increasingly using forms of subliminal advertising known as dark patterns that can be tricked and manipulated to consumers into buying products of their services or subscriptions. How crazy is that? These psychological tactics have been misleading people into spiral downfall and left many in debt. In addition, the effects of subliminal advertising is infected our behavior and overall has compromised many people's way of life. A personal experience is my sister started taking keto diet pills. And almost immediately she started feeling sick, her body shut down, and we had to rush her to the hospital. She said she saw the keto pills online. She doesn't recall where or when, but it took a life-threatening situation to realize what social media, commercial ads, and subliminal advertising has over someone's life. I'm not saying we don't have consequences for our own decisions, but if we're being persuaded in such a way to indulge in a product that we otherwise wouldn't have purchased, should there not be consequences or accountability? Pioneering author and critic Gene Kilborn explained to her audience at Harvard that the average American encounters 3,000 subliminal advertisements every day. And at the center of many of these ads is an image of an idolized female beauty, women modeled ads that are based off of flawlessness and doesn't exist in the real world, resulting in eating disorders, excessive exercising, stress, consuming diet supplements. Well, now that you have heard the problem and the cause for subliminal advertising, let's talk about the solution. For starters, why is subliminal advertising still legal in the United States of America? And how can we change this? The truth is, many things that are legal here in the United States are not legal anywhere else in the world. For example, many of our foods and subliminal advertising has been banned in other countries. But why is it still here in the States? Perhaps money, greed, different regulations? Journalist Terry Lane says that the U.S. Congress never passed a law restricting subliminal advertising due to it being a difficult case to prove. We're talking about hidden messages that are hard to detect, that can be hidden in plain sight, in print, video, ads, because they're not clearly visible to the naked eye, rendering all cases hopeless and thrown out the door. We're in the era of cancel culture. We have the opportunity to say enough is enough and put our foot down. Well, thank you so much for listening to me today, and I appreciate it. And I can't wait to view everybody else's video.